Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how I drew these beautiful fuchsia using colored pencils. So for this project I was working on Legion Rising Museum Mount Board 2-ply, one of my favorite papers to draw on, and the actual size of the drawing from edge to edge is somewhere between 12 and 13 inches depending on how you measure it. I was drawing this with Prismacolor, Polychromos, Luminance, Derwent Lightfast, and a couple of Holbein pencils, and I blended the pencil using a paint thinner, which was Utrecht NOOD Odorless paint thinner, and I applied that with some pointed cotton buds, and you will see me using that process throughout the video. You can see me getting started here working on the leaves, and I basically drew each of the leaves the same way. I started with an outline, and then I used an embossing tool or a really sharp Polychromos pencil to indent the veins in the leaves. And then I came over with several layers of green pencils, as well as some 90% warm gray from Prismacolor in the darkest shadow areas. Then I blended everything with my solvent, and after that dried, I came back through and added several more layers of pencil to smooth everything out and add some detail here and there. And then I just repeated that process over and over. I really like to use the technique of adding some dark gray under the green because none of the greens in my sets are quite dark enough to get that super dark shadow, which I really like for contrast in my leaves. You can see that I have values here from nearly black to a brighter, almost white. And contrast is just something that I really strive to create in all of my drawings. A couple other tools that you'll see me use in this drawing are the electric eraser. I like to use that to pull up bits of color, usually in the second part of the drawing process, to add some texture and depth to the drawing overall. And I'll also be using something called a blender pencil, and the one I'm using is from Lyra Rembrandt. It's the Splendor blender pencil, and I used that to burnish the pencil at the very end of the drawing. It's just another way of blending that's different from blending with solvent. When I blend with solvent, it dissolves the binders that hold the pigment together in the pencils, and it creates sort of like a paint-like finish to my drawings. But when I'm almost done with a section, I don't necessarily want to re-wet that section with the solvent, and so sometimes I will come through with that blender pencil just to give it a final blend. And the blender pencil, one of the things about it is that it's a very subtle finish. It might not be even something you can notice at all on this type of a video, but in person you can just see this slight softening that makes a big difference, I think, in the finished piece. So moving on to this large first flower, I drew this in sections. I started off here with these lightest petals, and I relied really heavily on some Derwent pencils. I used Derwent Oyster and also Heather. And the thing that's great about the Oyster is it's just such a lightly tinted pencil that even if you press really hard with that pencil, you're just going to get this really soft pink tint. And that's great for those super light petals. Then I outlined the entire thing. I really like to use Polychromos for my outline, so I was using a Polychromos Mauve and also a Manganese Violet in places. And then once everything was outlined, I started working through the darkest, coolest petals on the flower. So I worked through each of these petals one by one, and that reduces some of the complexity. This was a challenging piece, particularly with these flowers. There's lots of frilly petals and just a lot going on with these flowers. So I found it really helpful to just think of this as a puzzle almost. I just went through piece by piece, and sometimes the really difficult areas are a lot easier to draw once you have the areas around them worked in. So I like to start with the simplest areas, so I'll find just a small section of the drawing and I think I know exactly what I need to do here, and I'll just get that blocked in. And after I do that, I feel like one thing leads to another, and at some point I reach the more difficult areas, and they're just so much easier to work in when you're not overwhelmed with so much of this white space around it. So that's a little tip if you're working on something challenging. Just start with what you know for sure, even if it's something simple like blocking in a really dark shadow. So yeah, I started with the darkest, coolest petals. I broke this flower down into thinking about it as far as like the dark value petals that were a lot cooler, and then I worked on the brighter, warmer petals, and then I worked on the brightest, lightest petals. So you'll see me doing that. Now the combination of pencils that I was using, you don't have to have so many different brands of pencils. I just happen to have all of these different brands. I've been drawing for years and years, and so I just decided to make use of the best options that I had. Pinks and purples, I think, can be challenging. When I was looking at my reference image, in most cases, I was not able to find a single pencil that was a perfect match for my reference image. So I just like to go with what's close. And as I'm layering, like I might lay down the first color that I think this is the closest option that I have available, and then I look at the reference image, I look back at my drawing, I look at my swatches, and I think, what could I layer on top of that will bring it even closer to where it needs to be? So that might be I need to bring in a darker valued pencil to increase the shadow. I maybe need to lighten it up, and I might need to bring in a warmer purple or a cooler purple just to move the overall color in one direction or another. And usually during that blocking in process, I don't worry too much about the actual colors. I think more about the values and making sure I have the darks where they need to be and the lights where they need to be. And then after I blend with the solvent, I sort of reevaluate and I see where I'm at that point, and then I'll go back into looking at the color swatch and bringing in the colors that I think are gonna bring the overall petal closer to where I want it to be. And I just work back and forth from there. I really don't overthink it when it comes to color choice. I used to, when I was first starting out, really spend way too much time trying to find that perfect color. And you know what I actually discovered was that in a lot of cases there is no perfect color. It wasn't necessarily that there was something I was doing wrong, but colored pencil is a little bit different than paint. I can't always mix the exact perfect color. Sometimes I just have to get as close as I can and move on. And once you accept that, then it's just a lot easier to work with colored pencils because you're not constantly chasing that perfect match. focusing on the values and just trying to get it as close as you can within reason. That's the approach I take. So working on this large bright petal here on top, I wanted to make sure that I had some lines in there, some veins, and you want to make sure that those go in the right direction because that's going to help give your petal some shape. I really wanted this flower to look 3D. I wanted it to look fluffy and in full bloom. And so the veiny lines that are in there, or those contour lines, really give the petal shape. And another thing that will help with that 3D effect and help give shape to the petals are those values. You can see, some of those petals actually have a 90% warm gray in them mixed in there, and some of them are almost pure white, and that really helps with that 3D effect. Now, if this video is moving way too fast for you, I do have a full tutorial series for this drawing over on my membership, and you can watch that. I've got 6 different videos. I have a longer overview video where I explain all the materials and everything that I'm using, and then I have a separate module for the leaves, the stem, each of the flowers, and also the stamens that you'll see me draw here at the end. But this flower that I'm working on right now, there were several long real-time sections where I was drawing and talking through exactly what I was doing in the moment. And that can be really helpful, I think, when you're trying to figure out how to draw this. I usually use those real-time sections of my tutorials as sort of a stream of consciousness. So basically, I'm just talking the whole time, saying what comes up in my mind, what I'm thinking, and hopefully that really gives a good insight into just my thought process as I'm working. But I drew this flower the same way by basically starting with the darker, cooler values here, and then moving on to the brighter, warmer petals, and then finishing off with those top lighter layers. This is listed as an advanced piece in my membership, and I like to think of that as just a distinction so everybody knows, this is going to be a challenging piece. It took me a long time to draw, and there's not a full real-time drawing for the entire thing. But I also like to encourage even beginners to really challenge themselves. It doesn't ever hurt to attempt something. And I do think that that's one of the ways I was able to improve faster with my drawing, is that I was always trying to draw something that was a little outside my skill level. I was drawing things that probably I quote unquote shouldn't have been attempting. I wasn't really ready for them. And it can be frustrating when you do that, because I definitely made a lot of mistakes and had to rip a lot of things up, but probably in the end it helped me improve faster. But I do have lots of beginner tutorials on my site as well, and I try to make sure that everything that I draw is beautiful, even if it's simple. So I think there are a lot of really cool beginner options over on the membership as well. And I've started adding some just individual one-off purchases to my Patreon shop. So that's another option. If you're interested in drawing but you don't want to join a membership, I have a few things available over there now. So on to the stamens. These are super simple. Basically just drawing a oval shaped tip and then connecting that tip to the flower using some thicker lines. And it is a little bit more involved than that, but not a whole lot. So that is module 6 in my tutorial, and that's how I did it. And here is my completed drawing. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody.